Welcome to a journey of discovery in Japan, a country where tradition and modernity intertwine, where wonders and surprises always await. From instant noodles brimming with shrimp to immaculately clean drains in the countryside, from the culture of avoiding seats on trains to houses with paper-thin walls, Japan is a colorful tapestry of unique contrasts. Join me, a journalist passionate about exploration, as I guide you through 15 interesting facts about Japan, compiled from real-life experiences and stories from the expatriate community living here. 1. Japanese instant noodles. Are they really full of shrimp as rumored? Japan is the birthplace of instant noodles, and we've all heard the question, do instant noodles in Japan have real shrimp? The answer is yes, and sometimes even more than you'd think. Japanese instant noodle packets, especially from famous brands like Nissin or Maruchan, often contain small but flavorful dried shrimp, bringing a taste of the sea with every bite. In a viral video by a foreigner in Japan, they opened a noodle packet and found not only shrimp but also toppings like seaweed, egg, and green onions. But interestingly, in Japan, instant noodles aren't just a quick meal. The Japanese elevate them to an art form, with ramen shops serving steaming hot bowls with rich broth and fresh ingredients. If you visit Japan, don't forget to try a bowl of ramen at Akiran or Ippudo. You'll understand why noodles here are not just food, but a culture. 2. Japanese adult films, globally famous, but what do the Japanese think? One thing that surprises many is that Japan's adult film industry, despite being globally renowned, isn't as hot domestically as many might assume. According to a long-term foreign resident in Japan, when chatting with Japanese friends, most of them either don't know or don't care about the adult film stars famous abroad. Instead, Japanese people have other ways to access adult content, from adult magazines sold in convenience stores, komaini, to specialized clubs or shops. This reveals an interesting cultural contrast. While the outside world might think this industry is a large part of Japanese culture, in Japan, it's just a small, tightly regulated aspect and not a topic for open public discussion. If you're curious about how the Japanese approach these sensitive topics, leave a comment with the number 2, and I'll share more interesting stories. 3. Drains clean enough to raise fish, truth or exaggeration? Japan is famous for its cleanliness, and videos of crystal-clear drains with fish swimming in them have astonished many. But is this the reality? According to a foreigner living in Japan, such clean drains are usually found only in tourist areas, where rainwater or melted snow flows through meticulously maintained channels. In reality, in rural or residential areas, drains are not always ideally clean. In fact, some places might have unpleasant odors or foam due to household wastewater. However, the Japanese people's commitment to cleanliness is undeniable. From meticulous waste sorting to keeping streets clean, Japan demonstrates how community consciousness can create a desirable living environment. If you've been to Japan and seen a fish-raising drain, share your story with us. 4. Buffet culture in Japan, take just enough, no waste. One of the things that impressed me while exploring Japan's dining culture is how the Japanese treat buffets. At buffet restaurants, you'll see diners take just enough food and eat everything, leaving nothing behind. This is part of a culture of respecting food, where wasting food is considered disrespectful. However, surprisingly, Japan's food industry has a downside. Convenience stores, komaini, and restaurants often have to discard a large amount of edible food due to strict regulations on expiration dates. Someone who used to work at a komaini shared that they had to throw away a lot of food every day, even though some of it was still usable. Some stores allow employees to buy food nearing its expiration date, but many prohibit this entirely. This creates a strange contrast between individual consciousness and industry practices. 5. Gacha machines, addictive or just entertainment? If you've ever been to Japan, you've undoubtedly seen gacha machines, vending machines that dispense random toys, everywhere, from hotels to shopping malls. One play on a gacha machine can cost around 500 yen, and the prize might be a small, cute toy like an anime character figurine. A foreigner in Japan shared their joy at getting a favorite character model after a few tries, but also warned that gacha can be blood-sucking, i.e., drain your wallet, if you can't control yourself. Gacha isn't just a game, it's part of Japanese pop culture, reflecting the Japanese love for the element of surprise and collecting. If you want to try your luck, look for gacha machines in Akihabara or large shopping areas, but be prepared, as you won't always get the murad, desired item/character, you're hoping for. 6. Leftover change in vending machines, opportunity or pitfall? Another interesting story from the foreign community in Japan is about hunting for leftover change in vending machines. Some people discovered that occasionally, customers forget to collect their change from vending machines or photocopy machines in supermarkets. However, deliberately collecting leftover change is not encouraged, as it could be considered dishonest. Nevertheless, this story shows the curiosity and creativity of some people in taking advantage of small opportunities in daily life. Vending machines in Japan are a symbol of convenience, offering everything from drinks and snacks to even clothes or umbrellas. With over 5 million machines nationwide, Japan has the highest density of vending machines in the world. Next time you use one, double-check if you've forgotten any change. 7. Zainichi, the culture of avoiding seats and social sensitivity. A new term reportedly spreading within the community in Japan is zainichi, referring to the phenomenon of Japanese people avoiding sitting next to foreigners on trains or buses. One foreigner shared that when they sat next to a Japanese person, that person would sometimes get up and move to another seat. In some cases, they even received unfriendly glances or unpleasant remarks. This phenomenon reflects cultural sensitivity in Japan, where personal space and social conformity are highly valued. However, not all Japanese people behave this way, and many simply get up for personal reasons. Nevertheless, the story of zainichi, as used in this context, is a reminder that even in a friendly country like Japan, there are cultural differences that need to be understood and respected. 8. Things normal in the US, but unusual in Japan. Japan is a country with many strict social rules, and things that seem normal in the US can cause trouble here. For example, filming or photographing Japanese people without permission can lead to lawsuits. When filming street scenes, you need to avoid capturing license plates or people's faces. Photographing flower gardens in residential areas or entering them without permission is also considered disrespectful. Another interesting point is barbecue culture. In the US, grilling meat outdoors is normal, but in Japan, this is not allowed in many places due to concerns about smoke and safety. Additionally, if you see assistance dogs for people with disabilities, avoid touching or photographing them without permission. These rules reflect the respect for personal space and public order in Japan. 9. Thin walls and poor soundproofing, the story of hotels in Japan. One of the things that surprises many tourists is the thin walls and poor soundproofing in some hotels or residences in Japan. A foreigner recounted their experience in Osaka when they were awakened at 4 to 5 a.m. by strange sounds from the next room, from machinery noises to cries for help. Although they initially thought it was something serious, it turned out to be a normal situation, and their friends advised them to report it to the front desk if it happened again. This phenomenon doesn't just occur in hotels but also in many budget apartment buildings. With small living spaces, Japanese people often accept this inconvenience as part of urban life. If you come to Japan, choose a hotel with good reviews for soundproofing for a more comfortable experience. 10. The culture of yielding seats, reality not always as expected. Japan is known for its politeness, but a foreigner whose wife was pregnant shared a thought-provoking experience about the culture of yielding seats on trains. Although there are priority seats for the elderly, disabled, and pregnant women, they were rarely offered a seat. According to this person, only older women or those who had been mothers themselves would proactively offer their seats, while young people and Japanese men often ignored them or pretended to be asleep. This story shows the difference between the idealized image of Japan and social reality. Nevertheless, Japanese train culture is still a marvel, with the Shinkansen bullet train system and a public transport network punctual to the second. If you visit Japan, be prepared for these surprising cultural moments. 11. Convenience culture, komaini and their ubiquitous presence. Convenience stores, komaini, like 7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart are an indispensable part of Japanese life. With over 50,000 stores nationwide, you can find a komaini on almost any street corner. These stores not only sell food and drinks but also offer services like printing, sending mail, and even paying bills. What's interesting is that komaini not only serve the public but also reflect Japanese culture, clean, convenient, and efficient. However, as mentioned in the section on food waste, komaini also face the issue of discarding usable food. If you want to experience authentic Japanese life, visit a komaini and try a bento box or a can of coffee, you'll understand why they are so beloved. 12. Onsen bathing culture, relaxation and social connection. Like hot springs in Iceland, the onsen, hot spring, bathing culture in Japan is an important part of social life. These natural hot springs are not just places for relaxation but also where Japanese people chat, share, and build relationships. From outdoor onsen nestled in mountains and forests to public bathhouses in the city, you can find people from all walks of life, from office workers to the elderly, soaking together in the warm water. One thing to note is that onsen etiquette is very strict. You must wash thoroughly before entering the bath, and tattoos are often not allowed due to their association with Yakuza culture. If you want to experience an onsen, try the Hakone or Beppu areas, which boast some of Japan's most beautiful hot springs. 13. Japanese festivals, lively and full of surprises. Japan is the land of colorful festivals, matsuri, from the cherry blossom festival, hanami, to the fireworks festival, hanabi. One unique festival is Tanabata, where people hang paper strips with wishes written on them on bamboo trees, or the Gion Matsuri in Kyoto with its giant floats paraded through the streets. These festivals are not just occasions for eating, drinking, and having fun but also a way for Japanese people to connect with tradition and community. If you visit Japan in the summer, don't miss the chance to participate in a matsuri and try street foods like takoyaki or yakisoba. The feeling of blending into the crowd dressed in yukata, light cotton kimono, is truly an unforgettable experience. 14. Cost of living, expensive but worth it? Japan is not an inexpensive destination, but its exceptional quality of life makes it worthwhile for many. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in central Tokyo typically costs between $1,500 and $2,000 per month, while monthly food expenses range from $300 to $500 if you cook at home. Public transportation, particularly trains, is highly efficient but comes with a price, with monthly passes costing approximately $100 to $150. Despite these costs, Japan offers a safe, clean, and convenient living environment. With a low crime rate and a high-quality healthcare system, it's an ideal destination for those seeking a blend of modern and traditional lifestyles. If you're considering relocating to Japan, plan your finances carefully and explore scholarship programs or work visa opportunities. 15. Japanese cuisine, more than just sushi and ramen. Japanese cuisine is a cultural treasure trove, from fresh sushi to grilled yakiniku. One unique dish you should try is okonomiyaki, a type of Japanese savory pancake with seafood or meat, topped with mayonnaise and seaweed. Another is shabu shabu, where you swish thin slices of meat and vegetables in a hot pot of broth, creating a delicious and warming meal. If you want to try a controversial traditional food, learn about katsuobushi, dried bonito flakes used to make dashi broth. Although not banned, some traditional foods like whale meat have become less common due to conservation issues. To learn more about Japan's unique dishes, leave a comment with the number 15. We've just explored 15 interesting facts about Japan, from instant noodles full of shrimp to the culture of avoiding seats on trains. Japan is a country full of surprises, where you can find the perfect balance between tradition and modernity, between seriousness and joy. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you want to know more about any aspect of Japan, please leave a comment with the corresponding number, and I will bring more detailed stories next time. See you on another journey.